there's a big difference between Bollywood and Tollywood. And apparently there's also a Collywood, there's a Sandalwood, but the big ones are Bollywood versus Tollywood. So I'm going to read to you guys what I found is the top 10 differences between Bollywood and Tollywood.
Do you have this on the Incredibletron?
I do not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I do not. I just have it on the old laptop Gimmick. So here's the first difference. Language. So Tollywood, being southern India, has movie prominently in Telugu and Tamil, Kannada. I apologize. I shouldn't even be trying to pronounce it. Where Bollywood mainly has films in Hindi and Punjabi, Bihari are frequently used. So language being the first one. So it's a north versus south.
Region. And some of these films, they actually do takes in both languages.
Yes.
So that they can have them multiple versions for whatever dialect is spoken wherever. Yeah.
Which
so they'll literally
they'll
shoot two versions of it at the same time instead of dubbing it. They should do that here.
It's incredible that
lazy actors should just learn the Spanish.
Right? It's like, are you ready? Sí. ¿Estás listo? Yes.
It's crazy that it's, for that one country that what's the equivalent of that here? Is there an equivalent?
Of Bollywood versus Tollywood?
Yeah. Is it just independent versus corporate?
Versus
I mean, I think that's
20th Century
Fox.
Fox.
Part of it, but I'm not sure. And like, it's I don't know that. I feel like here we just have like genres, right? And you have like West Coast and East Coast, all right? I feel like those two things are sort of separate, but yeah, not to that degree, I'd imagine,
Yeah. Here's the next difference between Bollywood versus Tollywood. Bollywood generally generates more revenue than Tollywood. Tollywood comes in third place, while Bollywood is 2 steps ahead of its list of the highest grossing film industry. Bollywood tops it. The reason being that there's more Hindi speakers than Telugu. Now, what's interesting though, but we've learned since then that RRR is the second highest grossing movie of all time in India.
Wow.
So again, we have one language here, but it's a bunch of different dialects. But do we have portions of the country where different movies play better?
Good.
Right?
That's good, yeah. I guess some of it would be like, the production company and the main actor or actress and what region of the United States are they from,
Yeah.
Everybody's going to flock to there to go see it first. Like, release a movie in Hollywood and boom, everybody's going to be
everybody will be there.
So,
right.
New York, Miami, whatever.
But you do feel like, they've always had like the snowstorms that like ruin Hollywood box office weekends because certain cities were like snowed in. So I don't know. Again, this is a different beast for us because we don't really have an apples to apples comparison to go with. Next different, Tollywood has extra drama. Now, drama, the U.S. is familiar with.
Yeah.
We would all agree that Tollywood is much more superficial than Bollywood. The South industry shows what no one can even think. However, when it comes to Bollywood to Hollywood, the same logic applies to the Hindi film industry.
So do they all have the music and the dancing?
This RRR, we'll get into this, Mario said, that West Side Story should be ashamed. And
Spielberg saw this movie and he retired immediately.
Yeah.
And he moved to a log cabin now and he just has sheep.
The dance, the two dance scenes that I remember in this were off the chain. They were just crazy. Like, I was getting winded just watching it. And it was a dance fight. They're literally dancing to the point you literally dance until like your muscles gave out and you just dropped. That was the idea behind this.
Do they have a U.S. distributor? I wonder if I can play a clip and then we won't get clipped.
Oh, that's a good question. I wonder if we could.
One of us.
We accept you. We accept you. All right, let's see the next difference between Bollywood and Tollywood. Bollywood movies are often shorter than Tollywood ones. On average, the maximum length of any Bollywood film ranges from 2 to 3 hours.
What?
Whereas Tollywood exceeds Hindi industry by an hour. The reason is the over drama needs extra time.
Bro,
Yeah.
I haven't even seen The Irishman. That's
Yeah.
like 3 hours. The recommendation is like split it up into 2 segments.
Yeah.
Like, I
Well,
didn't
that's
even try
this
it,
one
man.
you can't. I mean, I did it not by design. Mario, you sat through for one sitting. But this one has actual natural spots where you could, if you wanted to, you can watch it probably in 3 parts if you wanted to.
How
for
about
sure,
that
too.
40-minute cold open?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I mean. That was just like, whoa, that was just the beginning.
Literally, the cold open, the
Someone
intro
all
segment
long
is
shot.
40 minutes.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It's just so extravagant.
Damn, I'm gonna be up late.
That's the word I was thinking of, because I was like, this is what people like back in the day were thinking about when they saw the chariot race of Ben-Hur, or like the grandiose feelings of like the Cleopatra, or the sword and sandal epics where you just had the cast of thousands.
The scene where the dialogue is the scene.
Yeah, that's what I felt like with this movie when I was watching it. I was just like, wow, it's big. It's a lot to take in, and it was good. It never drug. For being 3.5 hours, it never felt like, okay, get to it. No, there was everything had like precision to it, which was cool.
And it's got kind of it's not broken up into chapters, but it feels like chapters.
It does.
So you'll see something will happen, and then it'll pull all the way back to something else, and it'll have a whole segment that plays out 20 minutes, and all of a sudden you realize why the previous thing made sense. You know, it's very layered. And
some
this is
popcorn.
I mean, this is a spoiler review. Obviously, we don't want to spoil it for you, Charles. But
I'm watching it tonight. It's happening.
Yeah, you have to watch it tonight.
Like at immediate look, I saw the title and I was like, oh, crabs. Vin Diesel's in another movie. He's going through the alphabet. It's going backwards. You've seen Triple X. Now see Triple R.
No, you had no idea what was. I had no idea what to expect, and then when he told me, which comes to the next point, Tollywood focuses more on the action. Bollywood has an entirely different scenario, though it emphasizes the fighting scenes that are nothing. When the comparison comes with the South India films, Hindi movies have their main themes of romance, love, social conflicts, marriage. Action is usually the subsidiary, where that's not the case in Tollywood. And man, oh man, is that ever so true in this movie. The fight scenes are like nothing you've seen. Okay. Like I was trying to, the closest thing I can get to comparison is like when you were a little kid and when pro wrestling was over on your local channel, you would go to those martial arts films and you would spend the rest of the day watching it, and it was like magical watching these fights, even though they looked so not real, but you bought into it.
Sonny Chiba.
Yeah, that's the feeling that you'll get when you watch RRR. When you're watching this, when you watch it, Mario's like, oh, you're gonna love the scene, and I was just like, wait, this dude is about to hop the fence and fight, 1,000 people? How's that going to look realistic? And then when you're watching, you're like, holy, this guy, it was crazy.
You got to see it. You're an action fan, right?
I love it.
It's literally what one of the main characters. What is it? It's Ram.
Ram, yep.
Ram. He's a cop. He works for the British police, but he's Indian. And so they're like holding off a protest. Somebody throws a rock and it breaks like a photo. And the British are like, bring me that man. So he like jumps the fence and he's fighting off 1,000 people just to get to the guy that threw the rock.
Just to get to one guy. And he's beating up people along the way. And it's the closest you can get to comparing that is the Terminator. But this guy's just a cop.
Okay. T-1000.
Yeah, he's just like, he will get his man. And just like, he got hit in the head with a rock. He was getting punched. And he was selling his punches. It's not like he was like, but he was bleeding and he was going, but he wasn't going to stop.
And it's believable how because he gets dogpiled, but he gets out of it, and it's believable.
Yeah, that's what that threw me off. Again, you're in for a treat. All right, this next one to me, and apologize, I'm just reading a list that I got on a website here, so I'm not necessarily agreeing with this because we watched the video before this that disagreed with this. Bollywood traditionally makes better music. That's what this list says. Though it's hard to judge, the Hindi film industry seems to have a better taste when it comes to the choice of music. Their songs are more melodic and in harmony. Tollywood relies more on the faster, chaotic sounds, and then songs sometimes are not pleasing and soothing to the ears. Now, we already watched a video that completely disputed that, because this guy was dragging all his friends to see this in theaters, and he said it's the best. He says he listens to the soundtrack, he lets it run all day. I feel sorry for anyone that goes near him, because he's probably going to punch him in the face when you hear this music. But when you see the dance scene in here, which I was calling like the dance battle, when you watch it in there, that's a point of contention.
Is it like Kung Fu Hustle?
Yeah, you know,
like
it's
Kung
that's
Fu Hustle
But
probably
like amped up by a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, but like faster, bigger, stronger, faster Kung Fu Hustle type.
And like
thing.
it's a no sell. It's like not a comedy at all.
Yeah, there's no. Yeah, I think Mario, you were saying this. Like, there's no we were watching the video. There's no winking at the camera. There's no like. It's a no sell, believable. I compared this to WrestleMania 6, the build up between Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. Like, I don't know which one of these guys could win, and that's what the two main. I guess they're both technically protagonists.
I don't know who to root for in that one. I liked both of them because they never met each other, and then all of a sudden it was like, "Why y'all making my dudes fight each other?"
Let's take a chance. Boom. He sees a little bit of a
Look at this. Look at his.
This is on YouTube, so this is released. We're just playing some of it, but it's like, this is not even some of the.
This is how I warmed up when I left the house, but I could not do this for 3 hours.
So this is like the ultimate Marvel team up apparently in this movie, because this is like Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio being in a movie together, right?
Yeah.
Except they're dancing and doing kung fu, which we don't get.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, I'm way out of shape.
And dude, and you're just seeing a little piece of it. You're just seeing a little piece of the dancing right now that it just never stops.
If there was a chain, it was off of it.
So I think. Wait, is there more differences?
Yeah, there's more. There's a couple more. So let's go to this next one. And this one I think is going to be very relevant to RRR. Tollywood has a different way to portray romance. It's not like Bollywood, where the hero and the heroine fall in love at first sight. In Tollywood, it's much more harsh. The boy will make all the weird efforts to impress the girl. It sometimes looks funny. The definition of romance is opposite in both industries. I totally agree with that. And this actually has a romance and a bromance, which was really... You don't see that. You usually commit to one or the other, right, in your gimmicks.
That's roll up the tension.
Yes.
That's
so
you
had a bromance and a romance that you felt just as important as the relationship between the two main characters as you did for their respective love interests.
The Greatest Showman. It's kind of like that, right? Because
I didn't see that. The Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
No, I did not see that.
There's some of that going on.
You had that.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the bromance and the romance are just as important. So note that.
It's like having a work wife or husband.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, this is the guy that I go kick ass with. And then, but at the same time, it's just like, hey, oh, you're going to go home, your girl? Yeah, I'm going home, my girl. Okay, cool. And then we'll see you tomorrow. I love you, bro, but I love her too. It's like.
And then they're in India.
Yeah.
I like he's like, bet you can't do any squats with me on your shoulders.
Yeah, exactly.
I totally can.
So good.
Hospital.
So good. All right, this
Which
one
then comes back into play later.
It does, yeah. It actually. Now you see why they did that, because I thought that too. It's like,
That's
wait, what are they
writing.
doing? And it's just like, okay, yeah, there's the callback. This one is a historical difference. Tollywood is actually a year ahead. Tollywood produced its first movie in 1912, whereas Bollywood generated its first movie in 1913. It's an age-old myth that South industry came after Hindi cinema, so now you know, by 1 year. Which I only heard of it yesterday.
Yeah, I'm hearing of it today.
So it's a little different.
Thank you for dropping some knowledge on it today.
And the other difference, and again, this is very subjective. I'm just reading a list because I tried to do some homework. Bollywood offers more variety than Tollywood. For the past few years, the Hindi industry has deviated from its evergreen themes of love and romance, offering more on the table. Tollywood seems to stick in action and exaggerated stories imbibed over the drama. It may not be fair to say, but Bollywood has improved more than Tollywood. So again, being that was my first Tollywood movie ever, I have no idea if that's true.
So that is Tollywood. What RRR is Tollywood.
RRR is
Okay.
Tollywood.
Okay.
Yes,
All right.
we were told that hundreds of times.
All right.
In our
All right.
comments.
I don't want to come in
Yeah.
wrong. So
No.
Gotta
So
know.
you got to know that there is a whole different world out there. So that is the top 10 reasons, as brought to you by Net TV for You.